Okay, welcome to the Clearfield Bison Wrestling preview for 2009-2010. We're here with Bison head coach Jeff Aveni. Jeff, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, first let's talk a little bit about last season, one of the most successful seasons in recent history, and even in 75 years of Bison Wrestling, 15-0 during the regular season in dual meets, a runner-up at states. Just talk a little bit about what last year meant to you since you started here.
Well, that's something that, it was really an accumulation of 8 years of work that we had worked hard and really wanted to put together a great season. We'd had some good seasons in the past, but last year the team really came together and the kids wrestled hard, and they had an undefeated season, which is something they'll remember, and they went down in the record books of Clearfield wrestling, and I was proud to be a part of it, and hopefully that's something that we're going to build from.
So you lost really 4 seniors that saw a lot of mat time. Talk about Sean Hall, Sean Owen, of course, Holden Lowe, Andrew Spicer. Talk a little bit about what your memories are of them before we move on.
Well, those guys, they worked hard in the practice room. 3 of those 4 guys were guys that really developed over 4 years, and Sean Owen did too, I guess. But Sean got good as a sophomore, and we just carried him through the next 2 years. Those other guys, most of them had losing records as sophomores. And as juniors, they got a little bit better, and then as seniors, they were state qualifiers. And realistically, we thought all 4 of them should have been state qualifiers. We just ended up in a tough situation at regionals with Hall and couldn't get him through there. But
he was at a tough weight.
That's the epitome of the program, is that you take those kids that maybe aren't studs when they're in junior high, and that by the time they're seniors, that they're guys competing to make the state tournament, maybe place. And one of the things that we have now is that we have a new senior class, and they've been in the room for 3 years. Andre 4, but I have a junior class that's all 5 of them have been in the room for 3 years now. Yep. So we have a lot of leadership in the room right now. And
let's talk a little bit about that. Moving on to this year, obviously, you have a lot of returning letter winners. 9? 11? I'm sorry. Okay, so 11 returning letter winners. And you talked about wrestlers who have made that step up. Who do you see as some good candidates to make that step up and really become a good wrestler this year that maybe they haven't been a dominant wrestler in the past?
Well, Shane Harper's been the guy that's really improved the most in the room. Him and Troy Danver, those 2 guys have really come on this year in the practice room, and they look good in the scrimmage. Logan Shattuck's a guy that really looked good in the scrimmage this year. But, you look at all of them, the most dominant kid coming back from last year is Derek Danver. He's a year older. He was only a 10th grader last year, and a lot of people didn't realize that. He finished 4th in the region.
36-8, yeah, very tough.
Shane Peters was only a 10th grader last year, had close to 30 wins. Cody Lauder had close to 30 wins. He's back this year. And, those guys are there to fill those horse roles. With Sean Owen and Holden Lowe. He lost 4 horses there, and we have the guys to fill that, but we have another group of guys that can come up and potentially be better. It should be a lot better than they were last year, and I think it gives us the opportunity to have a more balanced team than we did last year. Last year we were very balanced, but we still had, some kids were real good and some kids were just a little below 500. One of our goals this year is that I think we can have 13 kids go 500 or better, and if we do that, we're going to be
very tough. Good. Well, let's talk about some of the kids who maybe the fans aren't familiar with. New kids coming up. I know we've got Christian Stone, Nolan Barger. You want to talk about any of those kids a little bit?
Those guys they're terrific for freshmen. Their work ethic's great. They've done a lot of wrestling. They have a lot of experience, and for lack of a better way to describe them, they're the 2 best freshmen that have walked into the room since Matt Kyler, Tommy Barger, and Brad Pataki. And that's the level these 2 kids are on. I don't think they have any junior Olympic titles, but they've always been in the best weights of junior Olympics. And when they get down there, there's 10 kids that are really good. Mm-hmm. And they're competing right in the mix of it, and the tournament just hasn't went their way yet. But, both of them are in position that they can wrestle junior Olympics 1 more year, and, I'm sure both of them are thinking this year's their year. Mm-hmm. But I look for big things out of both of them. One of the things that's a little different about them is they're going to be 12 and 19 pounders, not 3 pounders. And so they're going to take some lumps getting some older and stronger competition. But I look for those guys to really be a big part of this team and to have a lot of wins for us.
Now, the other open hole, obviously, is at heavyweight. You know, you've got a stud in Sean Owen leaving, and I know I talked to Coach Leggins. You got a couple different possibilities to replace him. Talk to me about what you got there.
Well, Jordan Lancaster's brother has been in our program for a couple years, and Jordan just moved in with his mom here in Clearfield, and he's going to be starting the season at heavyweight at Top Hat. He's a 215-pound heavyweight, basically. So, you know, in a lot of dual meets, we'll be double weighing, which gives us the option to move Andre up. Ryan Renaud's a senior, and he came out this year, and he's looked pretty good in the room. I think he's someone we can really work with. So I think at times we're going to see him in the lineup at heavyweight. So it gives us some options up there, and you know, I think Jordan's a kid that he's got 3 years here. He's a 10th grader, so he's got the size and the athletic ability that he can be a pretty good kid here in the next year or two. All
right, so what are your goals coming into this year? Obviously last year was just a banner year, won the district, was strong at every tournament. What do you look for this team? What have you set as team goals?
Well, we haven't really sat down and talked straight up team goals. I mean, the kids know that year in, year out we have the same goals. We want to have a winning season. We want to win a District 9 championship. You know, and we want to compete with the better teams in the state. And coming into this year, you know, I've talked to the kids a little bit. I told them straight up, on paper, you are a better team than last year's team. Just because that everybody should be that much better, and there's 11 of them back. They replaced, you know, they got 2 good freshmen in. One of the 3 spots was replaced by a letter winner. You know, it wasn't a full-time wrestler, but he wrestled enough during the letter last year. So, you know, the whole team's back, and you know, what we replaced with was real quality kids. So they have the ability to really be a better tournament team, and a better goal meet team. So, I mean, we have to go in with our goals set high that, you know, we want to try and take one dual meet at a time, and I think if we stay focused and do that and don't look past anybody, and, you know, barring injuries and illnesses and stuff like that, that we could possibly go undefeated again. And, you know, I think it's a realistic goal for our kids, and you don't want to say we're going to do it, but it is a realistic goal that they can achieve, and we're going to shoot for that. And the other thing, we want to win a match while we're in Hershey. And we've never done that. We won our first match in the state tournament last year. But we want to get back to the state duels, and we'll make a little noise down there.
Okay. Finally, let's talk a little bit about the lineup. And I know that things can be fluid throughout the year, but at this point, you're looking at Shane Peters to come back at 103. Yeah. You're going to slot Christian in at 12, yes, 112.
Christian has grown, and he's certified at 103, but we're not sure that how easily he could make it, and as a freshman, that's something we're not going to have him do is pull a lot of weight, and so he's going to be our 12-pounder.
Okay, so then Cody Lauder returns at 119.
No, actually, Nolan Barber.
He's at 125. I'm sorry.
And Cody will be at 25.
So Cody Lauder at 125. Nolan steps in at 19. Max Von Gunnen at 30.
Yes, Max Von Gunnen at 30. Andrew Hill at 35. Troy Danvers going to start the season at 40.
Then Shane
Harper at 45, Derek Danver at 52,
Wilbo Senior
at 60,
Logan Shattuck,
Cliffy Hill, Andre Buck, and Jordan Lancaster.
So like you said, a very, very solid lineup there. So, well, Coach, I appreciate you sitting down with us, and best of luck this season.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.